Angie has made it easier than ever to hire high-quality pros to get all your home service jobs done well. Just bring them your project online or with the Angie app, answer a few questions, and Angie will connect you with local pros who match your specific needs. Or book a service instantly at an upfront price. So join the millions of homeowners who use Angie to care for their homes and get your next home service job done well. Download the free Angie mobile app today or visit Angie.com. That's ANGI.com.
We took it all. We brought them to our land. An endless night, ember hot and icy cold. The rage of the earth. We made this curse. Carved it in the blood on our backs. We did not see. We could not, but she did. And in the end...
What will I become?
Senua's Saga. Hellblade 2.
Play it now with Game Pass.
With the what in your hand?
The bat in my hand.
A bat in your hand. Now I've got it.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not to scratch its car. It's because you got a bat in your hand that you're gonna. So the police catch you in the act.
They catch me.
There you go. That's some police work.
This is the plaintiff, Keisha Mitchell. She says she and her brother got into an altercation, and the defendant, his girlfriend, got herself involved in it. The hot-headed woman smashed her windows, put nails in her tires, and scratched up the side of her car. Well, now it's judgment day here in this court because she's suing the out-of-control girl for every penny of the $1,163 it's going to cost her to get everything fixed. This is the defendant, Hania Scott Mullins. She says she and the plaintiff used to be very close friends, but when the plaintiff and her brother start fighting, she knows to back off. She can't believe she's even here because she didn't touch the plaintiff's car, did not cause any damage to it, and isn't going to pay her any money because she did nothing wrong. She's accused of giving a car a good beating.
All parties, please raise your right hand.
What you are about to witness is real. The participants are not actors. They are actual litigants with a case pending in civil court. Both parties have agreed to drop their claims and have their cases settled here before Judge Marilyn Millian in our forum, the People's Court.
Be seated, come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome in.
Okay, Keisha?
Yes.
Mitchell, you are suing your brother's girlfriend, Hania Scott Mullins, for $1,163 in damages that you say that you sustained as a result of her destroying your car.
Yes.
Tell me what happened.
On May 27th, I got into an altercation with my brother.
What does that mean, altercation?
I was putting him out my house for selling drugs and things of that matter. So, we got into a little dispute earlier that day. My brother damaged my car when I called the police for him to get out of my house. They were mad.
How did he damage your car?
He kicked it.
Did you see him kick it?
No, but I heard my alarm go off.
Okay.
However, after that was done, I made a police report. They came out. He left. After he left...
Did you make a police report about the damage to the car?
Yes, I did.
Do you have that with you?
No, I don't have that with me.
Okay.
They didn't give me a report. They just gave me a DC number.
Okay.
All right, after that was done and over with, they were calling my phone, making threats.
Who's they?
My brother and the girlfriend.
Okay. What were they saying?
He told me I wasn't getting my keys and, he gonna come up there and harm me and my son and all of this stuff. And I went down there. He was at Hania's Scott house. And the car was parked a little bit from the house. On my way down there, I wanted my keys back, so I went to go damage his car, too, after I seen the damages on my car.
Okay.
And as I went to go damage the car, the cop seen me in the act of getting ready to damage his car with the bat in my hand.
With the what in your hand?
The bat in my hand.
A bat in your hand? Now I've got it.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not to scratch its car. It's because you got a bat in your hand that you're going to... So the police catch you in the act.
They catch me.
There you go. That's some police work. Go ahead.
They catch me in the act. They say, ma'am, I hope that's your car that you're about to damage. I said, no, it's not. It's my brother's car. We had an altercation earlier. I moved him out of my house from selling drugs, and they fought me and all that stuff against my son and all that. He was like,
what do you mean they fought you? Physically?
In my household, yeah. Him and my mother.
Is this when you were putting him out?
Putting him out.
Were you putting your mother out too?
Yes, they were both in my household. They were coming to get the clothes and get out, but they ended up fighting me and my son.
How did they fight you and your son?
My mom punched me in the face, and my brother, he was kicking me and pushing on my son, and my son was trying to defend me too.
Okay, and what, did you tell the police about that?
Yes, I already have a
So
report.
is there a police report for that?
They wrote it down, but they don't give you a police report.
You didn't bother to go get the report is the problem, because you have to pick it up.
That's true.
Okay, so how old's your son?
My son is 5.
Okay.
So after that, we got down there. The police saw me in the act of going to go approach his car, so he stopped me. And so he said, well, what are you down here for? I said, he's been making threats to me, calling my house. Whatever the case, she had nothing to do with it. This was a family issue. You know what I'm saying?
Is that what we call it? Okay.
Yeah, this was a family situation that was going on between me and him. She comes out with a knife, threatening to stab me.
Wait, are the cops standing there when she comes out with a knife to threaten to stab you?
The cop
So
was
she
right
got
here.
arrested.
She didn't get arrested. She came out with the knife behind my brother, and then my brother turns her around like, no, go put that back. Go put that back.
Or the cop standing right there? Why didn't you scream and tell the cop, look, she has a knife, if you saw a knife?
She didn't come close to me. She just was coming out of the house. My brother and my mom were outside of the house already.
I need you, this is not funny under any circumstance. You're her mother. And at best for you, she's lying, in which case this should be a sad state of affairs for you. And at worst for you, she's telling the truth, which would also be a sad state of affairs for you. Keep going.
So the cop told us, after he ran the report and everything, he told us, y'all better go home. He said, don't come back.
Who's y'all? You were with who?
Me and my girlfriend.
Are those the girlfriends that went with you with a bat to beat on his car?
Just one.
Which one?
Sharima Williams.
Nice going. Go on.
So I hear in the background my mom and my brother telling her mom and her to come up to my girlfriend's house and damage my car.
What's your mother mad at?
Because her son.
Because what?
Because I put him out.
Right, but if you put him out because he's dealing drugs,
yeah.
Why is your mother upset about that?
That's what I'm trying to find out.
No, you know. Is your mother dealing drugs?
Yes. I'll
So
be honest.
you were putting both of them out?
No, my mom don't live with me. She was coming to help him get his things.
How long has your brother been living with you?
About 6 years.
Was he paying rent?
Never paid rent a day in his life.
How old is he?
He's 25 years old.
How old are you?
I'm 29.
Do you pay rent?
Yes, I do.
Do you pay all the rent there?
Yes.
And he has given you nothing in all these years?
Nothing.
Go on.
So after 10 minutes went by. I hear, they calling my phone, this and that, we coming up there. So after I hung up the phone, I hear my alarm go off, and me and my girlfriends, I'm getting packed up. I'm like, we're taking my son.
What time of the day or night is it at this
This was like about 9, 10 o'clock, maybe. So we're going outside to the car, and they're damaging my car.
Who do you see damaging it?
Hania Scott.
And then what did you see her do?
She bust out the back window.
How?
With a brick.
All right, and then how else did she damage your car?
She tore off the license plate and bent it up. And then she put a nail in my right back tire. I'm standing on the porch watching them do it while I'm on the phone with the cops.
Why don't you
telling
video it? You both have phones, and the phone has video, right?
Yes, but I was in shock. I should have.
So
but
what did you see?
I seen the brick go through my window. I seen her rip the tags off the back of my car, bend them up, and throw them into the middle of the street. And I seen her do the nail in the tire.
What's going on?
I was at work when the altercation between her and her brother came. I have my phone records right here of her calling me.
What were they arguing about?
I have no clue.
You know now because he's still your boyfriend and you talked about it. What did he say they were arguing about?
I honestly don't know.
She said, I do because she just told me, so now you can respond to it. She says that he's dealing drugs. She and the mom are selling drugs, and she doesn't want them in her house.
I don't understand why she's upset with me. I'll say that.
Okay.
She called me. She's saying, I don't like you. Your boyfriend need to get out my house. That has nothing to do with me. Like I said, you don't like me? Call him. Don't call me. And I hung up on her. She's saying she does not like me. That's fine. I don't have anything to do with what's going on.
Why was she throwing out your boyfriend?
He's telling me the same thing I'm telling you. She's mad because she does not like me.
Okay. So the police go out there to your place?
Yeah, they caught her.
They did catch her?
Yes.
Okay. So now, if she in fact did damage and the police caught her doing damage, why wasn't she arrested? Okay, if you want to talk, I need you to get up. Get up, please. Stand up and come to the microphone.
Which one?
No, you cannot. You, brother, you, come to the microphone. All right, let me hear from you. What is your name?
Keyshawn Mitchell.
Keyshawn?
Mitchell.
Okay, Mr. Mitchell?
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Mitchell, why didn't the police just arrest her if they supposedly, they caught her damaging your car?
They did nothing. All they did was turn the lights on and pull it over.
Okay. Your answer is the police caught her driving a bat into your car and then say, yeah, we're not going to arrest her for it. Okay, let's move on from this. So now she leaves. According to her, after that, you went over to her place and damaged her car.
She did not see me damage her car. I did not go to this house. This girl has so many enemies. She just pointing it at me. She got into an argument with her mom's boyfriend that same morning over $5. So how do she not know if he got somebody to damage her car? She did not see me. I did not see her. I have call phone records. I was in my house. She did not see me.
What records do you have?
Of her and her friend Sharia calling my phone back to back to back.
Back to back.
Yes.
Let me see it. Why was she throwing you out of did you live there rent-free for 6 years?
Kind of, sort of. No, but I was with my mom too, so.
No.
It wasn't the whole 6 years. It wasn't the whole 6 years.
Okay, but why aren't you pulling your weight?
It was never a big issue. It never came at me like this. It never was a big issue.
Well, it's a big issue. It is a big issue. How do you not, somebody who's paying your rent for X number of years, who's that good to you, like, how did it get this bad between you two?
I don't know.
Yeah, you do.
I really don't.
She's willing to tell me. She says you're selling drugs.
Listen. I
am listening. I'm just not hearing anything.
I don't sell drugs. I don't house. I don't do none of that.
Have you been arrested for selling drugs?
Yes.
How many times? How many times?
Like 3 or 4. Right?
I can't hear you.
Like 3 or 4.
Okay. Do you have children?
Yes, 1.
Is this news to you, what he just said about being arrested 3 or 4 times?
No, I know he's been arrested previously.
Does he work?
He's working on getting a job right now.
How long have you been working on getting a job? How many years?
I've been working. I just came home like last year, but I got.
You know what? Have a seat. I want to hear from your mother since she can't be quiet. Come on up.
I know everything.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. You know everything. Come on up.
Excuse me, Your Honor, for talking out of hand or whatever. It was just getting to me, okay? Because my son just got out of jail like a year ago.
For what?
For selling drugs. Okay. And he came to her address to live. He haven't been living there for 6 years.
Why didn't he go to your address?
Because I had.
Do you have any convictions for selling drugs?
No, I'm 54 years old. Nothing. I look like this because they stress me like this.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
Yes. Anyway, this what happened. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna talk real quick. She called me early that day because my boyfriend owed her $5 or something. He didn't give it to her. She came to my house. I put her out my house. I said, "Stop getting in my house like this." An hour later, she called me. She said, "Mom, Keyshawn got to get out my house." I called him. I said, Keyshawn wants you to move out her house. I said, "Come and get me." I said, "Take me up there and we'll get your stuff and bring it to my house." We went up there. We came in. And we were bagging it up. They both started saying stuff to each other.
Did he damage her car?
No. Yes, we were in the house getting the stuff.
Were you there when she went over to their place?
Yeah, I was there. I was everywhere.
Did you see her damaging his car?
Yes. We heard it. We were upstairs. I was
saw it or you heard it? Which
we heard it. We didn't see nothing. Miss, can I finish?
Okay.
So the police
I have one last question for you. After she leaves and the police leave and the two of you are at her place, what time did you leave to go home?
Around about I don't know, 11 or something like that.
So when you left, did he stay there?
My son?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead and have a seat. We're done with your testimony.
Okay.
That means you don't talk anymore.
All right.
Son, come back up.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. Would you kick a freeloading relative out of your house?
More than likely.
How long does a relative get to stay before they just lose their welcome?
I would say maybe 2 weeks.
2 weeks? How long before you throw them out if they're just kind of freeloading off you?
It depends on their situation.
Oh, that's okay. You're dodging. How long? You know what? It's
half a year.
Half a year?
Because what if there's actually a situation why they need to freeload?
Oh God! You are going to be such a soft touch to some slacker in your life, some fourth cousin. Don't do that. Don't do that going inside the courtroom.
You said that you had phone records to show them burning up your phone. Let me see that.
It's up
And
there.
do you have a police report from your car being all, that's the no that you gave me, that you have no police report about your car being all scratched
Only
up?
thing I got is pictures and the DC number, the slip, but they never gave me nothing else.
Let me see what you've got. Hand it to Douglas, please.
Let's see.
Were you there when she supposedly came back?
Yes.
We all were.
We were all there. Misha.
Do you have a telephone?
I have a telephone.
Why is nobody, if somebody's watching the time it takes to damage that car, which is happening with the nail, I saw her put a nail in, I saw her do this. I mean, it takes a while to get that nail in that tire. Why is no one picking up their phone and videoing it for me to see?
We were going to the car to leave, and I come out to see them damaging my car.
Exactly. You come out and you see the damage to your car. Don't tell me that somebody who takes this picture does not know how to video someone who purportedly is spending at least 5 minutes in their presence damaging the car.
Can I speak?
No, you can't. I would expect that if you walk out and you are able to personally witness somebody drive a nail into a tire, throw a brick through a back window, damage your front window, and yet nobody videos her doing it. You know what I think happened? I think that she trash talk at that house when you were there more than he did. He was probably trying to diffuse things, and she was probably really getting in your grill. And you assume it was her who did it when you came out, and you may be right. She may very well have done it, but when I'm sitting in a court of law, I need evidence. I don't find that there's sufficient proof in this case for me to find she did it. And please don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying you didn't. I just don't find that there's sufficient proof here for me to conclude that she did and rule against her. Therefore, my verdict is for the defendant.
Well, did she or didn't she? The judge is not sure. Step over here, if you would, face this way. But there's just not enough evidence for you to win your case.
It's okay. They're liars, and they cheated, and I believe that she did it. I seen her with my own eyes.
You wish you had gotten a video of this happening when it happened?
At the time, we were just focusing on our kids. Like I said, we're single parents. It was a bunch of kids in the house when this happened.
This family. We just listened to a whole case about this family. It's sad.
Dysfunctional, it's sad, but I'm still going on with my life at the end of the day.
Well, can this family heal itself?
Never. They could never come back. Thank you.
All right, so step on in here. What's your feeling about what you just heard, Ed,
She
from the
got
judge?
what she deserved. She shouldn't have lied. I didn't touch her car. She know I didn't. She told so many lies in there. That's on her.
It's your family. Is it too far gone, or can you begin to heal this thing?
I mean, everything could be healed, but I'm moving on to it, man.
All right, over to Harvey.
Okay, this is real simple. There may be a motive here, but what the plaintiff has to do is tip the scales ever so slightly, proving the case. And guess what? Scales didn't tip. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
Angie has made it easier than ever to hire high-quality pros to get all your home service jobs done well. Whether it's routine maintenance, an emergency repair, or a dream project, Angie lets you compare quotes from multiple local pros, browse homeowner reviews, and even book a service instantly. Angie's been connecting people with skilled pros for nearly 30 years. So the next time you have a home project, bring it to Angie to get your job done well. Download the free Angie mobile app today or visit Angie.com. That's ANGI.com.
We took it all. We brought them to our land. An endless night, ember hot and icy cold. The rage of the earth. We made this curse. Carved it in the blood on our backs. We did not see. We could not, but she did. And in the end,
What will I become? Senwa Saga. Hellblade 2.
Play it now with Game Pass.
These are the plaintiffs, Jason Lang and Louis Lupinacci. Jason says the defendant, his landlord, owes him money. That's why they're here today. The guy's dog would constantly get into the bedroom and sleep in the bed, and the defendant did nothing about it. They moved out. The uncaring defendant's retaliating against them by withholding their security, and they're suing for every penny of the $3,781.12 they're owed. This is the defendant, Robert Ingenito. He says the plaintiff secretly moved in a third tenant who suffered from dementia. She stayed home all day, harassing his family, the mailman, and the neighbors. He eventually told them they had to leave. They left the place a bloomin' mess, and he has every right to keep their security, to pay for the cleanup. He's accused of hounding a tenant. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $5,000 for violating the terms of his lease.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket. The plaintiffs say the defendant is holding their security hostage, and he has some nerve because his dog was sleeping on their bed while they lived there. But the defendant says the plaintiffs are pigs. It's the case of a dog.
Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome,
Jason Lang and Louis Lupinacci, you are suing Robert Ingenito, your former landlord, for $3,781.12 for the return of your security deposit, your broker fee, pain and suffering, and loss of work. You are counterclaiming $5,000 because they violated the lease. Tell me what's going on.
Pleasure, Your Honor. I have a copy of the lease here.
Okay.
And I have a copy
What
of
happened here? So you find this place, and this place was what? The other half of a house that he was living in?
Correct.
All right. Did you have your own kitchen, your own bathroom, your own everything?
Yes.
All right. So tell me about it. You're living there, and what goes wrong?
Well, there was a dog in the house, and we kept on going to the apartment.
How did it go into the apartment? Don't you have a separate lock?
Well, the dog opened it with his mouth.
So how was the dog getting in if your door was locked? I mean, my dog opens the door.
It's really
but
nice.
My dog doesn't open the door when the door is locked.
It's a really nice neighborhood, Your Honor, so we leave
Okay,
the
so
door
you choose
unlocked.
not to lock it. All right,
Yes.
and what was happening?
The dog was coming in on its own and just laying down, going in the bed, throwing up on the floor, things like that.
Why don't you just lock the door?
I like the dog, actually.
Oh,
I just,
okay. So why are you telling me about this? I thought you were going to tell me how unlivable the place was.
I have allergies, Your Honor.
Okay, then why don't you lock the door?
We would, but Mr. Lupinacci was in the house sleeping. And
Who was?
Mr. Lupinacci. And Mr. Lupinacci must have left it open.
Okay. Kind of seems like that's under your control, though, because you kind of like the dog. But go on. What else was wrong? Why did you leave the apartment?
Allergies.
Okay, so did you have a lease or you didn't have a lease?
We had a lease, yes.
So did you give a month's notice?
Yes.
All right, and so there's no issue about notice in this case, right? The month's notice was fine.
No.
All right, so you left and everything's fine. When you leave, do you do a walkthrough?
Mr. Robert did a walkthrough.
With you or no?
No, I wasn't there.
All right, you did a walkthrough and you wrote a check.
Yes.
How much?
$1,200.
The entire amount of the deposit?
Yes.
But then the next night, the next day, you stopped payment?
Yes.
Why?
Because once I discovered what was wrong with the apartment, doing a finer inspection.
What was wrong with your eyeballs the night before?
There wasn't enough light in the room.
Well, then why do you do an inspection when there's not enough light in the room? What's wrong with you?
Because
Are you sure it's not that your wife got mad at you and said, I can't believe you wrote these guys a check after all we've been through?
That has something to do with it,
Yeah, because that's how it smells to a woman who's been married 23 years. All right? That's how it smells to me. So tell me about it.
I issued the check in good faith that the apartment
It's not in good faith. You issued the check because you were done with your business with them, and then you changed your mind. So tell me what gives you the right to change your mind. What damages did they leave behind, or what? I guess it would only be for damages.
I have a video that I can show you with some of the proof.
Okay. Can we put that up on the screen, please?
This is a video of our previous tenants and the damage they've done to the apartment. This is where they had a couch. You can see the difference in color variation, how dirty it is.
I can, but I also see dirt on the area where couch was.
As you can tell, there are various stains on the walls, the doors. The door handle has been glued back on incorrectly.
What is it I'm supposed to be seeing here? I'm seeing a perfectly clean apartment other than the carpet.
There's tomato sauce right there.
Okay.
It keeps going.
There's tomato sauce, but I don't think that's going to tie you $1,200.
You can see the staining of the food all over here. There's something
Do you see it?
funky
Stop
over there.
this thing. Wait, no, I hear you talking, but I don't see the things you say I'm supposed to see. So I need you to come over here and point to them.
Sure. Stuck in here. There's stains along stains.
I was supposed to see that in the video?
Yes, you can see it when you look at it up close. There's leftover food debris, and that was all over the house. Leftover food debris. The shower knobs were broken and had to be replaced.
Can you show me that in the video?
I have another video if you go look at one of the other videos.
Okay, don't move. You stay right there. What's this a picture of?
I've come to the conclusion that they were probably smoking inside of the apartment. There's evidence of some type of sticky resin, possibly illegal drugs. There's a drawer in the kitchen. You can see over here, here's some leftover incense. Once again, produces smoke. No smoking was one of the rules. Needless to say, it's pretty evident that they were breaking multiple contract rules, multiple violations. And that's it for this video.
Okay, go ahead and go back to the podium because we can't hear you when you're not mic'd.
Sure.
Oh, there's a third video. When did you take this one?
This one would have been the last one I took after the 5th. Noticed some more stuff after the tenants had left. These knobs were all loose and busted.
I object, Your Honor.
To what? To your clean apartment being shown on television? To what?
I heard enough.
Really. That corner, that was clean before they came in.
Okay, I've seen enough. So the only thing that you think is damage are the knobs of the shower, right? Everything else is cleaning?
No.
What is damage besides that?
The front door handle, which was on the first video, was glued on backwards, and you were unable to turn the lock.
But how come you didn't turn it for me so I could see all that in your video? I didn't even see it glued on or whatever you're talking about. I didn't see anything.
I did have to replace it. It has been replaced.
Do you have the receipt for replacing?
I have receipts for everything that has been replaced.
Okay, let me see the receipts that you have.
Sure.
And were you angry to see them go or happy to see them go? Whose decision was it for them to go?
It was my decision.
Okay, so when he says, oh, it was just I couldn't live there because of the dog, he's making that up.
Completely.
All right, why did you want to see your tenants go?
They had an illegal tenant living with them for the entire 5 months.
All right.
Lewis's mother.
Lewis's mother.
Yes, it was a violation of Clause 3 of the contract.
Okay, and how do you know she was living there? You saw her all the time? You're living in the other house?
She was there more than they were.
Okay. Did you have any problems with her?
Yes, we did.
What were the problems?
We had numerous problems. On 3 separate occasions, there were ambulances in front of my house with emergency personnel disturbing the peace, sometimes for no apparent reason.
Who was disturbing the peace?
Well, they were.
You mean it's upsetting to have an ambulance in front of your house?
Yes, and they were blocking the street, and my neighbors were taking notice of these things.
Go on.
She would harass the mailman for her mail.
Meaning what? How do you harass a mailman for mail?
She would call from the upper deck and ask if she had any mail on numerous occasions.
How is that harassing the mailman?
Well, when you're doing it numerous times, it's harassment.
Says who?
Says the harassment law. She would also harass me. Yes.
Really? By saying, Robert, where's the mail? That's
pretty
harassment?
much.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. Sometimes I would walk into my front door. Do you have some from the mailman saying he felt terribly harassed by her by asking it wasn't
him
just the
of all
mailman.
things, where's the mail or do I have mail?
No.
Okay. Let me hear from your wife. Talk to me.
So they moved in on December 1. When they signed the contract, it was supposed to be 2 individuals, Jason and Lois.
How soon did Mom come in, according to you?
Maybe like within 2 weeks, we noticed that she was there. And again, kind of not figuring that she's living there. Like, she's there. Then I said something to my husband. I'm like, I think she's living up there. I never see her leaving. Her and Lewis were left home all day alone. Jason does own a taxi company, and so he was out driving taxis all day. They were left alone all day home.
What do you mean they were left alone? Lewis is a grown man. Why are you... I don't know what that means. What is the relationship between the two of them?
You'd have to ask them.
What is the relationship?
We're best friends.
Okay. Are you somehow his guardian or something?
I'm his payee.
Payee from... Who's paying?
SSI.
Okay. Now, when you leave and he gives you a check, how long did it take you to go to the bank? Yeah, you should run to the bank in situations like this.
It was a minute.
Okay, when did you find out that he stopped payment?
When I checked my bank account.
Right, and so did he call you in that interim and tell you, hey, by the way, I stopped payment on the check again?
No, he didn't.
All right, so what do you say to him when you realize that he stopped payment?
I called him up and asked him why. Mm-hmm. And he said there was a problem with the apartment, and he wasn't going to make the payment.
Let me ask you a question. How old was that carpet?
1 year.
Okay. And did you attempt to have it shampooed?
I did.
By whom?
Royal Carpet Care.
How'd that go?
It went great.
Oh, so everything's fine. So a shampoo took care of it. Okay. So if a shampoo took care of it, and all that I see there is normal wear and tear, then what would entitle you, if you're out $109 on the carpet, what would entitle you to keep $1,200?
So what is better, a small apartment where you live alone or a big house where you live with your landlord?
A small apartment, for sure.
Really? Can I have a big house with a pool?
No, I'd prefer my own space.
Okay, what do you say, ma'am?
A small apartment, no doubt, yeah.
Anybody pick the house?
A big house if
I picked the house
lives with you.
Because, I don't know, maybe the landowner would give me, he would support me in what I do and just feed me and just...
Yeah, he's just going to feed you and just take care of you for the rest of your life. Going on. Right. Going inside the courtroom.
First of all, I have a checklist here that was signed by Jason and Lewis, attesting to the condition of the apartment before they moved in.
Okay.
Everything was in good condition.
Let's see that. That's very helpful. That's good. Go ahead.
I also have receipts for all of the things that had to be replaced.
Show me all of your receipts.
Sure thing.
Because when the shower knobs break, how does that allow you?
Because we signed a contract, and in that contract, it stipulates that
when someone breaches a contract, you are entitled to your damages.
The damages were the shower knobs and the doorknobs and the lost keys.
The damage is zero because you're responsible for fixing them anyway. Okay? So here's what we got. We got a $1,200 security deposit. Did he take the smoke detector?
Yes, he took a smoke detector.
Did you take a smoke detector?
No.
As well as a towel bar.
Did the towel bar break?
Not that I know of.
Oh, come on, you know for your towel bar. As a person, it's your apartment. You know whether the towel bar break. Just level with me.
Yes.
Okay, well then why are you lying to me beforehand? Okay, how long was Rosemary living with you guys?
I'm not his mom.
Oh, you're not his mom. You're his mom.
No, I'm not his mom.
Who are you? Who's that lady?
This is Rosemary Polanco's friend.
Oh, I'm sorry. Where's Rosemary? I thought she was Rosemary.
Rosemary's in the home.
Was she living there?
No.
Can I see the original lease? How long were they living there?
5 months.
In those 5 months, did you ever send a notice of violation that they had another person living there or start eviction proceedings or anything like that?
In approximately February 1st, I told them that Rosemary had to leave. And when they explained to me they had no place to put her, I told them by March 1st that they had to move out by April 1st.
Okay.
We just put her back in the home.
Okay.
I also have proof
so when you say put her back in the home, she was living there, right?
No, she come to visit.
Yeah. Okay. You have a counterclaim for $5,000. Other than repeatedly saying they violated the lease, how are you out $5,000 because they, quote, violated the lease?
I'm not, Your Honor.
Okay.
I was happy to keep the security deposit, but when
You're not entitled to a security deposit. Everything I've seen does not entitle you to $1,200. So you're going to be able to keep the $109 for the carpet cleaning, but other than that, I find everything else normal wear and tear, and I find in favor of the plaintiff in the amount of $1,091.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, so here comes the defendant, and, well, you got to keep for the carpet cleaning, and what else?
Well, there was nothing else, and I don't think justice was served today. They violated their contract on multiple levels. There were multiple contract violations, including a third person living there who were using utilities while they were living there as well. And that was my major point.
That was it? All right, so you're glad they're out? You got a better tenant living in there now?
Completely.
All right, so everything's cool now.
I'll be happy if I never see them again.
All right, so step on out here, and so right here, you were good. What's your reaction to this outcome here? You win on almost everything.
I'm glad. I'm really uncalled for to be here. You know, it's a shame. It's a real shame.
It's sometimes hard to get that security deposit back from those landlords. Sometimes.
Yeah, no, he had a plan from the beginning.
You happy how it turned out?
Yes, I'm very happy.
Okay, good.
And that we won the money back and everything went perfect. Thank you.
Harvey?
You know, you should know that in some states, landlords can actually be docked 2 and 3 times the actual amount they wrongfully withhold as a penalty. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
This episode is brought to you by Shopify. Whether you're selling a little or a lot, Shopify helps you do your thing, however you cha-ching. From the launch your online shop stage, all the way to the we just hit 1 million orders stage. No matter what stage you're in, Shopify's there to help you grow. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/special offer, all lowercase. That's shopify.com/special offer.
This is the plaintiff, Barry Maynard. He says he was hired by the defendant to do some landscaping on the yard she neglected for 8 long years. Needless to say, he did an enormous amount of work on the overgrown yard, and the defendant is playing games with him because he hasn't been paid. Well, the buck stops here because he's suing the sneaky, ungrateful defendant for every penny of the $300 he's owed. This is the defendant, Carmelita Connie. She says the plaintiff told her he could transform her yard into a beautiful landscape masterpiece, and she fell for it, hook, line, and sinker. The hacker sawed off her azalea and hydrangea bushes, and even her blooming flowers, for crying out loud. Pay him for ruining her land? No way. She's accused of cutting a landscaper off.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket. The plaintiff did landscaping for the defendant and got stiffed, but the defendant says it was like a chainsaw massacre. It's the case of Whacker. He hardly knew her.
Thank you, Douglas. Okay, Barry Maynard.
Yes.
You are suing Carmeletta Connie.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. For $300 that you say she owes you for landscaping work and refuses to pay you. Tell me what's going on.
Well, the neighborhood that we live in, I do yard work. I cut people's grass, basically. And so 2014, the defendant came to me and asked me, could I do a yard?
Okay, how long had it been since her yard had been done?
It looks like about 8 years or more.
It looks like it, or did you ask her?
I didn't ask her, no, I did not.
Okay, how long had it been since you'd had a good...
Nothing had been done prior to the winter. So
it was
the summer before it was done.
All right, so go ahead. Did you give her a price?
Yes, I did.
And the price you gave her was $300?
Right.
All right, so you're going to clean her yard for $300. You go there one day, you work all day, right?
The first
and then
day.
you come back with help.
Yes.
And are they yard men or not really?
Not really.
Okay. So something goes wrong, which is the reason that she claims that she's not going to pay you. What is it that went wrong?
I asked the two guys to help me, and I told them not to cut the rose bushes. I have the pictures of rose bushes and things like that, not down. I had to go somewhere and come back. So when I came back, she said that they cut them down.
Okay, so according to you, she says that they cut down 2 azaleas in the back?
The side
of the house.
Yes.
But is she angry when she tells you that?
She didn't act like she was angry.
All right, and then what happens? You finish your work that day, and are you supposedly done?
No, we came back to continue to work.
Okay. How many days did it take you to clean up this yard?
3 days.
3 days. All right, so at the end of the 3rd day, you said, okay, it's time to pay me, we're done, and what does she say?
She said that I'm upset. She says I want to be reimbursed.
For the plants?
For the plants. And I told her that the azaleas will grow back. They're going to go back fully.
What do they do? Do they just chop it right at the root? What do they do?
No, they just, because the pictures I have
Yeah, let me
here,
see your pictures.
Okay, in the front of the house, he has 2 azaleas.
Okay, those are still there. That's not in question.
Those 2 are still there.
That's another person's property, and that's the way our place looks.
Whose property is this?
That's her property. Those are the 2 azaleas that I cut around.
Okay. What are those?
So it's the same picture, the same day.
Are these the azaleas she was complaining about, and they've grown back? These aren't azaleas. These are hydrangea.
Those are roses.
Oh, these are roses?
No,
these are roses?
That's the hydrangea.
I was going to say, man, you grow some serious roses. All right, so according to you, hold on one second. So what happened?
The Sunday of Memorial Weekend is when I first saw him at the house. I came home from church, and he had one of the neighbors with a machete cutting the weed that was growing on the fence.
Okay, but here, so you have neglected the yard because that winter didn't cause that. Neglect caused that. Okay,
definitely.
All right.
Honestly, the yard was not the best looking landscape in the neighborhood. It looked raggedy.
Right. Okay.
I saw the neighbor with the machete taking the weed down, and when they came back and did all the damage, I was told by my daughter that she heard someone in the driveway saying, if it's not a rose bush, chop everything down.
Is your daughter here?
She's back in school in Buffalo.
Do you have an affidavit from her saying what you're saying? Then that's rank hearsay.
Okay, so is the mother stuck because the daughter just stood there and did nothing?
Yeah, she's stuck. She's going to have to pay.
She's going to have to pay even though she doesn't like what...
she's going to have to pay.
Okay, fair enough. Going inside the courtroom.
According to you, you had what plants that they chopped down?
Okay, it's 5 azalea bush.
Why would anybody chop down an azalea bush?
I have no idea. They were chopped down to the ground.
Do you have pictures?
I have pictures of what's left.
Yeah, let me see. If your daughter heard them say, if it's not a rose bush, cut it down, why didn't she stop them?
I don't know, Your Honor.
If she really heard that, I'm just wondering. What is this?
That is the azalea that's left in the front.
And what's this? It has a number 1.
That's the white azalea that's chopped down. It's just starting to come back. Number 2, you can see the leaves coming back. 3, 4, and so forth.
I mean, I don't doubt that they were there because look at them all just nubbing right out of the ground, right?
If I may continue, you know, when I came home and I saw all of that was gone, I called him and I said, something happened. You didn't call me and explain anything to me. He said, you know, what can I say to you? I'm sorry, it was a mistake and it will grow back. And I said, no.
It will grow back.
True.
Do you have like 7 or 8 years to get it to, you know?
So I said, no, you have to replace my plants.
And he refused?
And he said, if I pay you after I pay them, I'll get nothing out of it.
Okay. I am seeing an affidavit from one of your neighbors who is saying that she saw the people chopping down most of the bushes and the trees by the fence using machetes, and that she identified one of the fellows doing that as another neighbor of yours. Do you know who that is?
I don't know his name, but it's yes.
But you know who it is.
I know who it is.
So yeah, the neighbor was one of the people.
Oh,
well, you just gave me this. You didn't read it?
Yeah.
Who's the lady with you? Moral supporter or witness?
My tenant, a witness.
Oh, come on up. Did you see anybody chopping down bushes?
I didn't see anyone chop down bushes.
But you know there were bushes
but
there.
When I came home that evening, I was like, well, why would she have them cut down all the nice flowers? What's wrong with them?
Right, because you knew the flowers were there from the season before.
Right.
Mr. Maynard, listen, I know that you did hard work there. This is not easy work. But if, in fact, your guys, while you left to go do something, chopped down the lady's bushes, you understand, I've priced these bushes. The prices of the plants themselves is more than what your fee was. So why would she pay you?
Yeah, okay, I understand what you're saying.
Okay, and I understand that they're going to grow back in 5 years. That's 5 years that she's not enjoying her flowers, that her tenant isn't enjoying her flowers. Maybe her tenant leaves and goes somewhere else where there are flowers. You know, you don't know. No, you can't do that. I'm ruling in this case based on what I've heard in favor of the defendant. Good luck.
So the judge rules against you. Step on in here. I guess you made some mistakes on that job.
Yes, I did. No for the next time.
All right. So as far as this decision goes, you agree with the judge?
Partly, but that's the way it goes.
Which part don't you agree?
First of all, she only showed one azalea, and I'm pretty sure that there was only one azalea that was cut down. So,
that's one too many.
Yeah, true.
All right, around the corner this way. So step on in here, and what's going through your mind here? Come on out.
I'm glad this is over. I was so nervous.
How's the garden?
It's getting back together.
You going to neglect it for another 8 years?
No.
Are you going to keep it up?
It's been kept up, and it wasn't neglected for 8 years.
All right. Harvey?
Okay, I mean, this is just something you should really know, that if you have work done at your house and you hear somebody saying that they're going to do something and it's not what you want, you have a duty to speak up. If you don't speak up and they do what they said they were going to do, you're stuck.